Hi everyone, Soul Super 17 here. Let me show as usual. I don't own the picture, non-paid video. Alright, okay. So, here's the thing. I was asked about this and I kind of forgot about this. Maybe I kind of forgot about this because I didn't have the picture for this and I had to re-download it. So, yeah. This is basically the Naruto was in Beyblade. I really have to basically get through this because this is actually going to be like a really short series, like probably like maybe 20 parts, maybe. Just know this: I've been really tired over the weekend, and I was up all last night, up until basically around like 7 something. I did not sleep, and I woke up at 12. Well, I slept at 7 something, woke up at 12, so I got like, let's say 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 hours of sleep. Yay! And I tried to sleep before, couldn't, so I decided to make this video. Alright, so enough of that. Let's just get into this. If you guys don't know, I think I have a playlist. If not, then I'll make the playlist, as soon as this video's uploaded, it'll be put into the playlist. So, but yeah, if there's no playlist, I'll make one. If there is a playlist, I'll just add on to it. So yeah, this is part 5. So, we ended up Battle Bladers, where Jinga versus Ryuga. Ryuga lost to Jinga. And so, Jinga knows Naruto could have beat Ryuga, but Doji, or basically the guy that helped Ryuga out on all of this, disqualified Naruto. Because out of fear and such, and, well, yeah. So, easily enough, basically, everything happened to Canon, though, at the end. So, just Naruto, Hikaru, basically, kept on hanging out, battling each other, leaving, and, well, and they kept on coming back to the city where everyone is. We were basically starting off where they were coming back to, and I did not know if it was like a year or 2, so, because it doesn't really make sense in how they started the WBBBA, and there was like, and because it took so, basically, like, not much time it seemed like, so we really don't know how long it took. So I'm saying basically, in my mind, it would take a year or 2. Well, a year to get everything worked out, and then basically a year to plan out the whole entire World Championship, basically, and how basically each Beyblader had to basically, that represent the country, has to then, basically battle each other, and who was like to organize everything, and such. But we will basically go to when they started out. So, because Hikaru was given basically a position to work with Director, which is Jinga's father. She would have basically been, in canon, been offered this position a little bit, basically earlier in life, but not early, I mean later in life, but since she basically since Naruto saved her, she's still been battling, and, basically they've been fighting and working together. She got stronger and such. She's been traveling with Naruto a lot, so she didn't take up the position. So, yeah. Anyways, like I said, we're starting off where they are basically coming back into the city. So, yep, this is part 5. What if Naruto went to the Beyblade Man Fusion? So, as Naruto basically is walking back to the city with Hikaru, as Hikaru goes, Naruto, which he goes, yeah, Hikaru? He goes, how do you do it? Which he goes, huh? How do you have so much energy? Which he goes, oh, you still don't understand chakra. She goes, I get it, but it's kind of unfair. Which Naruto just chuckles. And she basically then just sighs again. She goes, seriously, I still can't believe you and basically Kurama. Which, basically, he turns around, walking backwards, looking at her, and basically smiling his fox smile at her, which basically she's I mean, she looks away, which Naruto basically just says, "Well, I mean, come on. I've been helping you train basically constantly and get your stamina up basically so we can travel longer without a need for basically a rest. And plus, I mean, I can't teach you chakra, so it's kind of basically I sometimes in any train area that was basically dangerous, I had to carry you. So, I mean, we prefer us to basically not get stronger and maybe and help you get over basically your little issue with Ryuga," which she just sighs. She goes, "I was grateful for that, but still," she basically, gives him a stern glare. She goes, "Even though basically you did tell Jinga, Madoka, Kenta, basically about your situation, I still can't believe you still have a big, giant fox sealed inside of you." Which Naruto turns around and just shrugs. As basically goes, "Can't blame me. I never asked to be, I never really asked to be the savior of this world or help out." As we have a flashback to where Naruto basically was talking to Hikaru, basically. Which he goes, "Hikaru?" Which Hikaru goes like, "Yes? I gotta tell you a secret. We've been traveling together for quite some time. It's been almost a year, right?" She does not. She goes, "Yeah, and your training methods. I don't understand it." In which Naruto just chuckles because of she found out about the whole entire shadow clones today. Basically, he goes, "Yeah, chakra control exercises are real, basically, pain for me." In which she just nods slowly. She goes, "I still can't believe you have this unknown energy. Basically, your bae also has it. Kind of unfair." Which Naruto then gets serious. He goes, "It's not just that. It's..." As he takes out basically Biju Kurama, he goes, "It's holding basically a part of my partner, my friend, my very first." Which basically Kurama inside the cage, just not saying nothing, but thinking, even though basically they were never on friendly terms, but they worked together, they were partners, Naruto and him basically, now working together and basically, working together basically in battles and such now is, basically Kurama has realized they are friends, in a way. And he just sighs. Which, we go back to where Naruto is looking at Kurama, Biju Kurama, in which Hikaru was like, can you explain?" He just says, after a few minutes of looking at Biju Kurama, he goes like, "I want you to meet him." Which, her eyes widen and shocked. She goes, "Wait, meet Kurama?" Which he says, "Yeah." And so he basically, because they were sitting on logs, he would walk over to the log she's sitting. Yeah, log. One, basically, part of a tree that was cut up and basically left in the woods, I guess. I basically just don't know basically what full size, what they're called, still a log. So when you cut off two, basically one end, measure it out basically to probably I don't know, a good length, basically cut that other end for 3 people to sit on. Don't really, just calling it a log. Anyways, so she's like, "Naruto," as then basically he, touch her shoulder, as then basically he pulls her along with himself into the Mindscape, and she met Kurama. She learned about Naruto's life from his memories, how bad his childhood was, just in general. In which, ever since then, Hikaru basically has been training harder than ever. She basically, telling Naruto don't mind her, basically just and help her out with training. Basically whenever she asks for it, because Naruto's training methods along basically that past year was basically because of Kurama basically telling him to do this to improve himself. It was brutal. He also basically been making a name for himself as the undefeatable king, you could say, because not many people can defeat him. At all. Well, so they don't really know, though, for sure. But that's what basically, in the Beyblade world of Bladers know him as. So yeah. And in a sense, basically, though Hikaru basically has trained herself intensely to keep up with Naruto. So, and they did get that call, and the reason why they're coming back to basically the city where Jinga, Madoka, and Kenta are is because basically Jingo's father asked Hikaru to become his assistant while basically Naruto helps out Jinga. In which that's the reason why they're coming back. So basically, as Naruto just, smiling while looking up, and she could tell, Hikaru can tell Naruto was smiling, she goes, "Why are you smiling about Naruto?" He just says, "Oh, I'm just smiling basically on the day, the day I actually, I'm surprised that someone didn't care if I even had the fox heel inside of me." In which, basically, she goes, "Huh?" Which Naruto just chuckles. He goes, "Well, Jinga, Kenta, Madoka, and maybe anyone else who, knows about my story doesn't really, what should I say, never really met Kurama. So, you're the first one ever. And I was surprised that you basically didn't, I don't know, kind of from my past experience with the villagers for so many years, I do have some troubles basically trusting people. I thought you would call me a demon." So, just realizing that basically in this world, no one really cares about it. And also, you were actually kind of surprised I was from a whole new world and basically had to came here just to help save it. She goes, "Yeah, Mr. Hero." When she goes, "Hey, I'm not trying to become a hero. I just want to get away from my world for a very long time, because I was done with that crap." When she nods in understanding. So, they get back to the city. They go to basically the base stadium that's, basically that would be nearby. Basically the base stadium that they always go to because Jingo's father is waiting for them. As when they get there, Jingo's father is, is there, but then he sees Kenta, Madoka, and Jinga. Which basically Naruto's like, "Huh? Guys?" In which Jingo's like, "Naruto!" And Kenta and Madoka are saying this. As they run forward, as basically they even see, Hikaru as they basically are, saying hello to her too. As they say that, "You said you guys weren't," Jinga says, "you guys weren't going to be back for like another month or two." Which Naruto goes, "Yeah, we called back early because of your father." In which basically when Jingo's father comes up, he goes, "Yes, you see, I want you to basically go with my son back to, actually, you never been there, to our home village." Which, basically, the Bay Village, I don't remember the name of the village, but something, hold up, actually we'll look that up. Koma Village, there we go. "You never been to Koma Village, have you, Naruto?" Which Naruto goes, "Nope." Which, basically, he just nods and goes, "Well then, hopefully this will be the first time you've ever been there. Hopefully this first time you've ever been there will be basically to your liking." Which Naruto basically just shrugs like, who knows. So, basically Jinga basically goes like, "Wait, that means," he goes, when he looks at his father, he's saying that, which basically Jingo's father would say, "Yes, Jinga, I want you to basically go out to Koma Village as what we talked about. But I want basically Naruto to be there because when you basically do retrieve basically what you were looking for, it'd be a good idea to basically have someone to help you, master its power." Which Naruto's confused, but then basically Kenta Madoka says, "But then what about Hikaru?" As in Hikaru will say, "I'm basically going to help Jinga's basically father out. You see, he asked for me to be his assistant, basically, and manage, certain things. I can't go over the details, but he told me about it, and Naruto doesn't even know about it, so don't even try to ask him." Whereas Naruto goes, Top secret, couldn't tell me anything. Man, this is gonna be a pain though, whatever it is. I have a feeling, but fun. Which basically Chinga just blinking and just goes like, sure. And well, Madoka goes, should I basically go back home and grab anything? Which basically Naruto looked at her and was like, why? She goes, because to check to see if anything happened to happened to Kurama, and make sure basically if you had any new parts added to it. Which Naruto just shrugs like, haven't really added anything to it. I mean, I was thinking about adding basically a fusion wheel, well, a new fusion wheel to Kurama. One where basically he just spin steel. That would have been kind of cool, but not our style. Which basically, that just kind of made them all blank. Which Hikaru goes like, trust me, there's a lot of ideas he was thinking about, and there's a lot of things that he wanted to do, but I told him not to. Which Naruto goes, yeah, a pain, but it's true. I just basically should probably keep it the same. Unless basically Kurama basically wants to upgrade. Then we need to try to figure out a way how to make it work. In which basically Jingo's father will nod to that. And so he was like, now then, on your way to Koma village. After you get your stuff packed. Which basically Jinga and Kenta, Madoka, and Naruto goes like, I already have my stuff packed. He just has his bag on it, his bag over his shoulder, as he just nods. As Naruto will go with Jinga, Madoka, and Kenta, basically, to go help them, pack whatever they need. As then Hikaru goes like, how do you think Naruto's gonna take it? Which basically goes, take what? He goes, about basically the world tournament. Basically him being the only one on basically his own team. Which basically he crosses his arms and basically, well, Jingo's father would say this. To be fair, I did not want Naruto to basically be on his own team by himself, but the WBBA heads, along with basically other people that watched Jinga and Ryugo's battle, they wanted to see basically, Naruto's full potential, since, the battle was basically a draw between him and Ryuga. Some people are saying basically my son won just because Naruto was not in it, which is true. He's already told me about this. He knew Naruto could win against Ryuga easily. And basically, maybe this will help basically Naruto and basically his big Kurama improve. Which, basically, Hikaru just basically shakes her head, which kind of makes him look at her basically like, what do you mean? Why are you shaking your head? No. She goes, it's not that this will help him improve. They always are improving. It's just, there's not many people around here that can keep up with him. Believe me, as she basically has a flashback to where Naruto is basically looking at an avalanche of basically, of rocks basically that's coming down, as then he holds up, Kama in the Bay launcher, and then he just yells out, let it rip, as when basically Kurama is launched, there's a huge gust of wind, and basically Hikaru can see 9 basically energy tails, moving behind the bay, as then all of a sudden, basically when basically Kurama, the Bay Kurama basically gets, Biju Kurama gets to basically the first rock, it tore through them basically like it was nothing, turned them just into pebbles. And then basically even blew up the top of the mountain. As Naruto basically just waited for Kurama to come back to him as he catches it. As basically, when we look at Naruto, he is having many, many different basically, let's say weights around him, around his arm, or his launching arm, basically, and including his basically body. So, Yeah, he should have. I mean, he could have not had that much power into it, but the fact is, because of Naruto's healing factor, he always heals very quickly. So the weights are always need to be increased. As she just sighs, she goes, he can improve rapidly because of certain events, which basically Jingo's probably not go into it. Now then, so while basically we will have basically Naruto and Jinga, basically Madoka and Kenta basically talk basically after a farewell goodbye to Hikaru and Jinga's father. Basically Jingo's like, hey Naruto, what's basically you've been doing around traveling? I mean, he goes, going to places basically that are dangerous just to get better training. How to Hikaru train. Well, did it when I was alone. Went to those, dangerous places. What else? Oh yeah, battle a lot of people, gain strength, and been trying to basically find out how can basically Kurama get stronger along with basically Serpent Orochi. Yeah, I kind of forgot the second base name, but I know it's Orochi, but I think I named it Serpent. So yeah, if not, then I'll go back to it. I'll find out. Anyways, in which basically Madoka goes like, so you've been really trying to figure out basically a upgrade for him? Well, for both of them? Which he goes, it's hard to explain, but I have this gut feeling I'm gonna need it. I mean, Kurama basically, basically is, as we all know, balance. If I remember correctly from last time, basically, when I first came here, we said it was a balance type. Kind of weird, though, basically how it always has a high attack power. In which Kurama just scoffs. So basically, Kento just says, how about basically you kind of give it a switch modes? Which Naruto basically looks at Kento and blinks. He says it slowly, switch modes? Huh. Basically, he's looking at basically Bichu Kurama. He goes, how would I be able to do that then? Which Kento's like, I don't know. Maybe it could be in the performance tip? In which basically Madoka goes, that could be true, but it'd be difficult to even, have basically your beta handle all of that. Switch basically your stamina to defense, then to basically balance. In which Naruto just sighs and be like, yeah, doesn't really matter though, so, doesn't really matter. Basically Kurama basically attack type, balance type, or defense type. Not many people can basically defeat us. As I would say, basically, Kurama would just say mentally, he goes like, are you becoming cocky? He goes, no. He was saying, this is all in their head, by the way. Well, Naruto said, he was like, no, I'm just staying out of that. The people that we've been facing so far are, they're good bladers, but they're not stronger than us. Or they can't keep up with us because of our training. Maybe Jinga and Kenta can give us a decent challenge. Well, Kenta would give us actually a decent challenge, but basically Jinga, if he had basically Pegasus, would give us a hard time. But since he hasn't been training for a year or two, 2 years, which basically Kurama would nod. He goes, we have to wait and help him basically get stronger. He's like, yep. The things I do for friends. And then basically Kurama says, girlfriends. Which Naruto's basically face goes red. He was like, what? But he goes, oh, please, don't tell me. I know what you've been thinking of that Hikaru girl. He goes, we are from the same dimension. He goes, doesn't matter. You like her. Which Naruto was like, shut up, you damn fox. And basically, meanwhile, while he's having this mental conversation, they see Naruto's face, eyes go distant, and then all of a sudden his face goes red, and then Naruto comes into focus, which Madoka's like, uh, are you okay, Naruto? He goes like, yeah, I'm fine. Uh, just don't mind me. In which they say they just nod. So, basically, when they basically get back to Koma Village, I just realized I should have kept the guy's name in my head. Give me a minute. Okay. So, as I was saying, basically on their way to well, after all that, and basically on the way to Koma Village, the fact is, everything is going on like canon. It'll take a while to get there, as Naruto is noticing, so basically he has time also to train along the way, eat and such, and basically try to figure out basically a way for everything to basically work in perfect, sync for basically them. Led by Kurama and such. The Bay, Biju Kurama. And for basically Orochi, he basically kind of knows what he wants Orochi to be, still exactly the same way. It's just, he wants to make it a little bit more, deadly, basically, of, draining, basically, stamina, instead of basically how, because you remember when he was breaking down the bays, and basically after he changed it, it was actually the same way a bit, but now this one's basically draining the stamina of its enemies. So, maybe basically he thinks basically Orochi, Serpent Orochi deserves more of a spin steal than Kurama does. So yeah. And basically so. He does make some modifications to Orochi, which Madoka basically notices and sees that basically, him basically holding basically Orochi and Kurama in the same hand, and then all of a sudden Orochi starts to glow along with Biju Kurama, as then basically Orochi now basically looks like, has basically rubber basically attached to it now, and such, as Madoka just eyes widen as basically the original name was, I guess, basically Serpent. I forgot a bit when that. It's been so long since I made basically a Beyblade video, but anyways, yeah, she basically checks out, and basically she's actually kind of shocked, because now basically it's, can spin steel. And she still basically says it basically still worked somewhat the same, but instead of breaking bays now, he goes, yeah, I know, I figured as much. Just kind of never felt right, basically destroying someone else's bay after a while. Obviously battling a lot of people, which she can understand, but she looks at Kurama, nothing changes. So, yeah, so basically they would get to Koma Village, and they meet Hikaru and Hikoto. Need to make sure the names are right. Hikaru, different place. It's Hiyoma and Hokoto, the dog. As Hiyoma was, Jinga! Guys, welcome back to Koma Village. As basically Hiyoma sees a new person. He goes like, and wait, he goes, Naruto? He goes, Hiyoma. He goes, you're here. He goes, yep. And Hikoto is like, huh. I sense great power coming from you. Which Naruto sees a talking dog. He's like, hi there. Which everyone's surprised that he's not freaking out. In which, basically, Jingo's like, why are you not freaking out? He goes, oh, this. And then basically does the hand signs and yells out, summoning jutsu! As then all of a sudden, just a tiny, basically, toad appears. It's basically Gamakichi. He goes, yo! As they're just blinking, and basically he looks at Naruto. He looks around. He goes, "Hey Naruto, where did you summon me?" He goes, I'm in a different world. How long has it been since I've been missing? It's been like 2 years in this world, this dimension. He was like, not at all. He goes, then actually thinks, I guess basically, that Zeus guy was right. Nothing basically is gonna change. Back in the point in time I was disappeared. In which he goes, wanted to make sure at least. He goes, wait, it's been 2 years? Why you never summoned me? He goes, didn't really need to. Besides, there's no ninjas around here. then we can use chakra, but me. In which we see just sighs like, fine. Having fun without me though. Where she goes, I'll give you chocolate next time, don't worry. He goes, good. Also, I'm not, well, you better, you know, before I tell basically my pops about this, he goes, yeah, it's not like he can stop me, I'll never have to summon him. Besides, basically he goes like, in this world, there's something even more fun than being a ninja. In which Gamikichi just actually looks shocked and he goes like, who are you? What you done to Naruto? Which Naruto just says, matured. It's been 2 years. He goes, yeah. 2 years not seen, and you didn't even summon me. How dare you? I think Gamikichi just poops away. Which Jinga, Makoto, 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 Kenta, Hiyama, Hikato, the dog, basically Hikato, just like are in shock. Which Jingo's like, chakra, right? He goes, yep. He goes, ah. Hiyama goes, what? He goes, have an untapped pool of basically energy called chakra, and basically they know about it. Which basically Kenta, Jinga, and Makoto does not. Wait, not Makoto, Madoka. God. Too many things are happening, people, in my mind. It's just been one stressful thing after another for me. Sorry. Makoto. Sorry, I just had to take a deep breath in and out. Okay, so. Anyways. Like I was saying, Madoka, know about this, which Hikaru was just like, wow. And basically, Koto is like, just looking at Naruto, and he asks, what can you do with this energy? He goes, well, me and my babe basically just like, brings up basically, Biju Kurama and shows it to Hokoto, as Hikoto basically looking at the bay and can sense the power from it, and briefly saw Kurama as he basically then gets serious. Goes like, "Come with me, boy. I have something that I think basically you can use with your bay." Which Naruto's like, "Huh?" And so basically Naruto follows, basically Hikoto as everyone else does too, as he basically asks, "What can you do with your bay precisely?" He goes, "Well, basically." It may be technically a balanced type, but the tap power and stamina is too great, and I've tried out with basically Biju Kurama how long to keep the base spinning. Which he goes, and how long is that? A week straight. I had to basically stop because basically it was less than one place. He goes, I see. So, you have your base spinning from one place, and no matter what, then it basically stops. He goes, yep. Which basically Hokoto does not. He goes, interesting, but good. Now, can you do anything else with it? He goes, yeah, with the basically chakra energy, we can technically alter the bay, since basically its energy is in it. Which that makes basically Hokoto stop, and then keep walking. He goes like, could you add anything to it? Fuse with it. Which Naruto's like, yeah, probably. We altered the parts so where it basically improves it on itself. In which basically, Hikoto does say, good. So, in a sense, he brings Naruto to a house, basically, and opens it up and tells him to come in. As everyone else follows, as basically Hikoto basically shows Naruto a fusion wheel, plus basically a plate. Basically, you know how basically is like the design, basically with that in the picture with Pegasus with those blue part that's going towards like the faceplate. That's basically the faceplate in the middle. Then it comes out a bit, and there's like that blue part of that looks like maybe wings or basically some type of flames on it before the fusion wheel. Yeah, that part basically is going to be changed. As Naruto's basically seeing the fusion wheel, as he goes, huh? What the? He goes, where basically Jingo's going to say, wait, yes, this is basically our basically our blade mechanic's home. He was building based on a new fusion wheel, and not many people's basically base could handle this, since basically it was very powerful. It kept on breaking in contact with any other people's bays. In truth, basically this is basically the final design of it before. Since Koma Village, we never see anyone there, besides probably when Jingo was around, and then after he leaves, we never really see like anyone there. So it's like, don't really know anyone's back at Koma Village. So just in case, before technically he left, I'm just gonna say, as Naruto goes to it, he feels it. He goes like, "Huh, it's hefty." He goes, "Yes." He was trying to make a fusion wheel to where it helped basically a attack type bay or a balance type bay to have a greater defense and attack. It's heavier to be knocked out. Which Naruto is basically looking at Kurama, basically, Biju Kurama, as in he looks at the fusion wheel, and he basically is like looking at the fusion wheel and such, and basically he can tell there's like a little bit of basically like something to it. He basically can feel basically like there's like a set of something there. He doesn't know what. As like basically with Sagittario, basically having like these little claws, basically on the bay. Basically, Naruto basically notices there's like basically a set of something like that there, but it's basically different. So he basically says to Kurama, "What do you think? Should we basically combine this?" In which Kurama just says, "We both know basically we could handle it. And besides, we need to get as strong as possible. Yeah, whatever's gonna happen, we need to basically get a lot more stronger." So, he basically holds up the new fusion wheel to Biju Kurama, so then all of a sudden his eyes start glowing red as when he opens them, as then red energy coming off basically Kurama, as Madoka knows, that as then all of a sudden the fusion wheel starts to, that he basically placed it against his, Biju Kurama, as it starts glowing too, as then all of a sudden after the bright light gets even brighter and one can't see, basically Biju Kurama basically has an upgrade. And so basically now, when Naruto basically sees it, he sees basically where it was like looks like a fox basically, and the tails are going around now were just red, and they look like they're golden. Along with basically now the fusion wheel itself does look like now 9 tails basically are there. It may have looked at like originally, but now it's basically more defined, and basically now even though the tails basically are tails, it technically looks like basically deadly claws are there, and something like new can happen. And then when he looks basically at when he turns the bay around and basically look at underneath the fusion wheel, he can tell basically now those wing parts are technically gone. And then basically he turns it around again. As basically then he goes, "Huh. I wonder." Which Carl goes, "I basically put them apart of basically, the fusion wheel itself now. Now, basically, when we basically spin, we have basically a higher concentrated basically attack power. It's like Kenta's basically Sagittario Flame Claw. It'll go on fire more easily. Though our basically Kitsune basically Wrath may be a little bit more potent." Which Naruto's eye doesn't show any reaction with. Then he just says, "How potent?" He goes, "Amaterasu." Which Naruto knows from the Sharingan about the Amaterasu because Kurama revealed that detail of it. And then he goes, "So we get Kitsune Wrath normally, but then we can enhance it to become Kitsune Wrath Amaterasu style?" Which basically kind of makes a mental nod. He goes, Man, just wait to basically anyone back home would have heard this. They would have been basically screaming out for my death back in the village because we're copying one of the Uchiha's signature, basically eyes, Sharingan's basically secrets, techniques, which Kurama just scoffs at that. And so basically, Hikoto, basically was like, what happened? He basically Naruto shows basically Kurama, Biju Kurama. He goes, I think basically I can call him basically my new Bane now. Well, my upgraded basically evolved Bane now something. Since, as they see it now, even basically they see now the tails are golden. The fusion wheel looks. There's even like the tails, like I said, are golden. So that means the fusion wheel looks a little bit golden, but normal. And with the black tips of the tails now, in which basically Madoka's like, "Can I see it real quick?" And then he goes, "Sure." He hands it to her. She can tell it's a little bit more heavier, and then she basically, takes like a scan at it with basically her little portable computer. As she goes, I can't really tell until we go back home, but from when I look at it, it looks like Biju Kurama's basically defenses increase along with the attack potential. Though, because of this overcompensation, it also enhanced basically the performance tip, and along with basically the fusion wheel, not the fusion wheel, that centerpiece of it. I forgot what it was called. Basically, which Naruto was like, yeah, I know this. So basically, it was like, he goes like this. I think basically because of the new fusion wheel, basically that center part of it, basically now is, everything looked like claws and fangs, so, basically, now they're a little bit more defined, a little bit more sharper spinning. Just, they curve a little bit more. Now it just looks like it's wind. Well, it looks like it's just a spinning cyclone now. But the performance tip, it hasn't changed much, but it's, I don't know. It's just something a little bit, I just feel like there's something off. Which Naruto just nods. He goes like, yeah. Anyways, let's get what Jinga needs to get. So, they go through everything what Jinga needs to get to Galaxy Pegasus. So nothing changes with that. Naruto basically did not want to basically make a cave entrance because he doesn't know how strong basically his new Bay is. As he's been trying to come up with the name, he goes, when they basically get to Galaxy Pegasus, he goes like, how about Amaterasu Biju Kurama? He thinks in his head as, basically, which Kurama does not. He goes like, that could work. For now, at least. Which Naruto just grins. So, besides, though, he actually kind of can tell, though, when he kind of, moves the bay a bit around, he goes, it looks like actual flame patterns now when you're spinning. Which Kurama just smirks. So, though, basically, after Jinga tests out, basically, Galaxy Pegasus and destroys, basically, basically some rocks, or basically a little bit of a mountain, I guess we can call it. As Naruto was thinking, did he forget about asking for his Bay for help? Well, there's, bring out its own spirit along with his. Which, basically, Kurama was like, new Bay, new, basically, new parameters. And also, it's been 2 years. He hasn't Beyblade, so it's like, true. Probably is a little bit rusty. And then, all of a sudden, someone goes like, Jinga, I found you! As then, basically, the whole entire introduction of Masamune happens, and then the whole, battle with him happens. Basically, Naruto goes like, thinks to himself, wasn't that the guy that basically interrupted Tsubasa's and Yu's basically match? Which, flashback of them, of Jingo watching TV. basically of the match while he's basically eating. And then basically just seeing the matches going on and such, and then you and Tsubasa were battling. So, yeah. As Kurama goes like, yep. Why not go help him? As then Naruto basically body flickers over to, well, where he sensed Muramasa would be. Double checking. Sorry, Masamune dyslexia kicked in, I think, and along with basically imprinting the name as what I thought it was, as what I know. So yeah, Masamune. So yeah, so basically body flicker, which Kurama taught him out to, and which Masamune has been looking for his, basically, Bay, not Libra, wow. Basically his Bay, basically unicorn. I just call it that always. I'll basically look for it. I mean, I'll basically remember the name eventually, I guess. But basically, his Bay is, spirit's a unicorn that has a lightning coming around, and basically it can stop its motion in combat, and then basically, go behind his opponent's Bay and attack. Yeah, no. Drawing a blank for his Bay's name. So, as Masamune's calling out his Bay's name, as then when he sees, when he basically has to look over, he sees basically Naruto just standing on water, picking up his Bay. As basically, he's shocked by this, and basically Naruto's walking over to him, and basically, holds out his hand, basically as Masamune, holds out his hand as Naruto gives him his Bay back. He goes, just because you beat Jenga doesn't mean you're going to become the strongest. He goes, what do you mean by that? Of course I'll be the strongest then. He goes, no, first off, not official match. 2, who's going to believe if basically there's only a few witnesses in that front of the world? 3, Jenga just got that Bay. Which he's like, huh? Yeah, it's a long story short. Basically, he got the new Bay Galaxy Pegasus, so he's not. You can say he's not basically in control of the Bay when you were sent flying. So basically, Masamune is basically shocked. He was like, so what do you mean? He was like, well, until basically he masters the Bay or, figure out what he's doing wrong, until you won't beat him truly, basically, if it's basically a stadium out or basically something happens. So, which basically, Masamune is like, then what do I do? He goes like, help Jenga. Help him basically realize what he's doing wrong or something, basically, or help him master his Bay. Then basically when you basically fully, see him basically ready to go, challenge him again. See the real Jin Hagane. Wait, not Jin Hagane. Why did I say Hagane? Jinga, I mean. So, basically, Masamune just nods. He goes like, by the way, who are you? He goes, Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you. He holds out his hand. He goes, Masamune Kodora. What, Kodora? I can never say that name right. Just, Kodoya? It's whatever. But look it up. Character, name. So, basically Naruto just nods. So, basically Masamune does help out, basically, Jingo, along with basically, at least talking with Naruto. And nothing will change besides Naruto basically training with, basically, the uncontrollable Pegasus along with Jinga. As, even including basically, Naruto basically can tell, basically, all of a sudden, basically, he's basically able to generate a lot of power, aka Pegasus is, as Naruto and Kurama basically notice this, and they attack with it, and basically, the only reason why is they have not lost, basically, yet, to it, is because of basically the new basically wheat fusion wheel, as Naruto basically sighs and basically goes, "It's a tie again. We're not gonna win like this." As basically Pegasus stops along with Kurama as Kurama jumps back into Naruto's hand, as then he catches the bay as Naruto goes up to his bay and he picks it up. It was still not close enough. Which basically Naruto goes, "Hey, can I see Pegasus real quick?" Which he goes, "Sure." And then basically he looks at the performer's tip, and then he looks at his bay, and then basically since Kurama's in the seal, can see through his eyes. Yeah, he goes, "Change it slightly, but copy. Change it slightly, but copy." As he gives back, Pegasus to Jinga, he goes like, "You're gonna change your basically performance tip and copy mine, aren't you?" He goes, "Oh, you actually are basically figuring me out." He goes, "It's called upgrade in Jenga, not copy." As then all of a sudden, basically Kurama glows a bit, and it's done in a few seconds, as then basically they see the new wheel. Well, not the wheel, I mean performance tip. The performance tip looks like Jenga's a bit, but because of basically it did already look like, claws, or fangs basically with the performance tip now, it's a little bit more, like thicker, basically, and well, I want to say now basically the teeth are way more the teeth now look like a little bit more defined now, as Jinga's like, "Yeah, that's not like weird at all." He goes, "You're weirded out by me changing the bed." He goes, "No, no, no, that actually looks like teeth." Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, it's still basically a difficult battle, don't you think? He goes, "True. Can't wait to battle though when I'm basically like fully mastered basically Pegasus," which Naruto would not. So then the whole entire interaction basically with Muramasa happens again. Well, Masamune, not Muramasa, Masamune happens again, and this time Jinga learns, and basically now Masamune says, "Now then, time to defeat you for real, Jinga," as basically. Well, he goes, "Huh? I thought you were going to declare that you were basically the number one." He goes, "Nope. After all, I was told that you basically did not fully master basically Pegasus, so I did not think I won until I defeat you for real. Now, get ready." As then Naruto's like, "I think you guys need a break. I mean, Jinga just mastered Pegasus and now also made a new special move, so." Which Masamune's like, "Ah, fine." So, basically, I would also, basically, then all of a sudden, though, I would say Naruto does get a call. He picks it up, he goes like, "Hello?" Which everyone's there, basically hearing him. He was like, "Huh? What do you mean? Uh, I should tell Jinga and everyone else not to battle?" Fine. Alright. At least that means I can't too. I can't battle either. That ain't fair. Come on, Hikaru, why can't I not battle? Basically, I can battle for basically days straight. Fine. Bye. He hangs up, he goes like, "Jenga, we can't battle no one for a while. Only a challenge if we could." And that even includes you, Masamune. But she goes like, "Huh?" He goes, "What?" He goes like, "Don't know." But, So yeah, so after that, Jinga, Masamune, and Naruto are kind of like, why? And, well, so basically they try to do the challenge in a different way, and then the whole entire interaction with Mei happens, which Naruto's basically blinking, because she didn't recognize him, and he recognized her, as then when they meet for the challenge in Chinatown, basically, and such. I like to call it Chinatown because that's what I think it is, but yeah, Chinatown, and basically meet in the basically restaurant area, and need to basically find the name of the character. Hold up. Okay, so basically, when they see someone coming from the shadow of basically the restaurant with the gun there, it's Chi Yun? And then basically the girl comes out and it's basically Meme. As Naruto basically just says, well, as basically Shinlun basically would say about basically the world tournament and such, and everyone did not know this, and Naruto was like, huh, so that's why we're told not to fight. Cool. Basically a world-based challenge. As then basically all of a sudden, basically Mei goes like, Naruto? Which, basically, to be fair, Naruto has changed a bit. And he has basically grown slightly taller. His hair has gotten a little bit longer. But his outfit of dress now is basically a black jacket, orange shirt, blue pants, and basically, boots on. He was like, "Are you allowed to recognize me, Meme?" And like Jin Yon's like, "Meme, you know who this person is?" She goes, "Yes, it was that boy I told you about who helped me with these people called face hunters." As basically Jin Yon is, I don't know why I can only say it like that because it's N-G, then Y-U-N-E, I think that's how it's spelled. So basically, Jin Yun, would look at Naruto and then basically can tell basically this person is stronger than what he looks like, and would just nod. And basically, then the whole entire Gon will come down and, well, basically also let Benkei go eat. So the battle commenced with Jinga and basically Masamune, along with his base striker and Galaxy Pegasus. So everything would go like that canon, but the fact is, Shin Yun wants to basically see, he will point to basically Naruto, goes like, now, I want to see you! The one, hold up. Okay, as I was saying, he was saying, he challenges basically Naruto to a battle, and he says the only one that basically will be a team of one. And this basically world tournament, which Naruto's just blinking. He's like, huh? In which basically that kind of shocks everyone, which Naruto just sighs. You're like, well, I got 2 bays. So of course that would happen. Alright, let's battle. As then basically he says, now, I'll show you my new bay. Automata. Now I'm having trouble saying names. Amaterasu basically Biju Kurama. And then when he shows his bay as, yeah. Basically, Mei just blinking because she could tell basically had quite a few upgrades with Jin Yun's like, basically, thinking to himself, basically how powerful could he be. So, they basically get into this, in the areas of battle, basically when they say 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Basically, both blades basically go to basically the different basically areas where they were launched to, as then basically one base going in another direction, the other one's going in another direction. As Naruto basically says, do whatever you want, I'll let you basically go for a bit. Which basically Jin Yun basically is thinking is he basically being arrogant. As then basically he does into one of his dances of basically motion stance, basically I like to say. The stance is where his bay will go to. As Naruto goes, huh, sound like good defense, huh? Basically he goes, yes. This is something basically only we're at our school will show as basically a place where we have our bays become a pillar of defense. Which Naruto was like, huh, alright. He goes, go, Kurama! As then basically when Kurama strikes the bay, it's not moving that much, but basically Naruto can tell basically the fusion wheel attack power is great, but they're holding it back slightly, which even Jin Yun can tell. Which he goes, why do you not attack me with full strength? He goes, I got this fusion wheel that was made for defense but give it a high attack power too. So I don't want to destroy your bay by accident, especially when I was launching. I basically was calculating also on the fusion wheel that I got. So try not to destroy your bay. In which that just shocks everyone there. But Naruto says, but I think I have figured it out. Now, go, Kurama, rapid attack! As all of a sudden, Kurama basically just all of a sudden starts moving quicker around and attacking in basically many different directions. Basically, imagine Beyblade Burst Valtryx, basically rapid attack. Something like that, but it's more like he just, goes into a circle and keeps on attacking the bay. As then basically Chinyu would tell his bay to, send basically Kurama away. Kurama gets launched, but then when he lands, he goes like, alright then, I'll show you basically a little bit basically me and Kurama's power. And then all of a sudden, basically, the bay starts to spin rapidly, and then all of a sudden just, blue fire, he goes like, special move! Kitsune's Wrath! As when basically Naruto says that, yeah, no, that was a done deal because Kurama basically starts to move faster than what basically it has before, what they saw. But when Madoka basically saw the bay, she just basically seen basically a new performance tape, and she basically just blinking because it looks almost similar to Jinga's, Galaxy Pegasus performance tape, but it just has looks like teeth now. And she goes, of course he would do this. But that's not it really. It's because of basically a new basically fusion wheel and these new basically wind-like blades around its center, spinning part of I guess what it's called. As I'm just gonna call it basically the part where it spins with where Sagittarius claws are. Yeah, I'm just trying to make that reference so everyone can understand. I'm really basically just I'm really just tired. I can really just say. So anyways, though, yeah, in a sense, though, when Chinyun and basically Mei basically see this, they were shocked because they're basically the golems actually looks like it, is glowing, as then when it hits, basically it just sends basically Chinyun's bay flying, as Naruto goes like crap, as then he moves faster than what people could see as he just catches the bay. It's just basically he can tell basically it's smoking a bit. He goes, did I hurt it? He's looking, it's not hurt, just smoke. He's like, ooh. Here. He basically, because he jumped and caught him, then he lands on the ground and walks over to Chinyu and then gives him back his bay. He goes, thank you. But she's just thinking, amazing. That was only a little bit of his power. As then basically, Kurama jumps back into towards Naruto, he catches it. He goes like, well, hope to see you based on the World Tournament. Which basically Naruto's walking away as when everyone's walking, Chinyu would say to Mei that basically he'll be a tough opponent basically in this tournament. Which they will, basically she nods, he goes, but how do you think we are going to, deal with basically this? He has to battle every person by himself. Which basically Chinyu would say, I do not think so. I think basically they came up with basically he has to battle in this tournament basically and fight against, not the leaders or the substitute. Maybe a battle of all? He does not understand. So, basically, give me a minute. Okay, so after that, we have Jinga asking Naruto, does he know anything about this? Which Naruto goes like, nope, not at all. Anyways, looks like we gotta train, because there may be some selections for this. So, let's get ready, huh? In which, basically, Jinga, Masamune, and Kenta do nod. And that's what they do. They train. And Naruto is basically training, basically trying to understand basically Kurama's new potential. Amaterasu Biju Kurama's new anything abilities. As he knows basically his, special move Kitsune Wrath was a little bit more potent in power. So yeah. So anyways though, everything goes exactly the same. Naruto and Jingo find out they can't be in this battle selection. Naruto kind of figured since he was only basically the only team, you know, another selected team, in which when Jingo runs in, he said he wanted to battle and such, while Naruto was just leaning against the wall. He goes like, so, why am I the only one on one team? Which Jingo's father just sighs and like, I tried to get you to basically be on Jingo's team. Well, on Japan's first representative team and only been on one. Because I did say if there was going to be a second team, then we had to have another battle of representatives. In which many of basically the WBBA board members saying that was basically a good reason, but a lot of basically the other members basically thought it would be a better thing just to have you on your own. It was an unanimous vote of this. I'm sorry, Naruto. Which Naruto just shrugs, be like, so how's it gonna work? I had to fight everyone on a team? Or I had to fight basically the strongest member, the leader? Basically, which he does not. He was like, it's a 2-day event, each battle now. You'll have to fight the leader while basically the second day, while basically the first team fights against everyone the first day, which Naruto would not. So everything would go exactly the same. Basically, maybe exactly the same. I'm talking about everything would go exactly the same up till basically the new or basically 4-way battle, which they even announced that basically after this basically 2-on-2 battle of Tsubasa versus Kyoga and Yu versus Masamune, we're gonna have a special battle, basically to see who would have been basically the strongest. In which Naruto and basically Jinga blink, in which Naruto and Jinga looks at basically, Jinga's father, he just sighs, but like, well, and Jingo's father says, and this is also another reason why they say you should join. This, if you beat Jinga, then you basically will go along with as the second team representative. But if you lose, then Naruto goes, and Jinga and the rest of the game would stay. Which basically, will go on while I stay. Which he nods. Which Naruto sighs, you're like, I get it now. Looks like we're gonna have a battle, Jinga. Which Jinga's just blinking and he just smirks. He goes like, yeah! Which, I do want to keep going, but I do need to try to get back to sleep. So I'm kind of leaving this in a cliffhanger, but I'm also kind of wanting to make this like a special, the next part kind of just be only focus on that. On the battle. So, yeah. Because I really just want to try to get to sleep, guys. It's like freaking 5 something. So, I make this video. I try to basically go on, and I think I should try to get back to sleep. Because I fell asleep, woke up at 12. Then basically been up, as I said, but I want to try to get back to sleep. So, yeah. So, I mean, I got far enough as I wanted. I only covered up to that part. Those episodes, actually, so I have to watch the rest. So, anyways, bye everyone. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are. And bye.